I'm Kaylee, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to set your reading goals for the new year. In case you didn't know, Books for MKs is a charity that donates books to missionary kids. If you want to donate to the kids, you can do so at GoFundMe.com. There's a link down in the description, there's a card right up here, and there's a button at the end of this video where you can donate to the kids. Before I get into my advice about setting goals, I want to tell you about this cute little Etsy shop called Ex Libris, and they have tons of different types of bookish products, and they sent me some of their products for free in exchange for a free and honest review. So they sent me this whole envelope full of these little packages. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, the packaging is so adorable. So they sent me these beautiful book plates. So some of these are peel and stick, some of them are gummy, like a stamp would be, like you would lick it and stamp it or moisten it and stamp it. Some of them are like in this old-fashioned paper, and oh my goodness, these are so cool. A lot of them have some kind of owl on them, or I guess that's a raven. And they sent me some personalized ones with my name on it, in these beautiful little packages. I can't even tell what language this is. Whatever book they took that out of, it's some language that's all fancy. And I don't speak that language. It looks like it could be German or Latin or something. Maybe it's Latin. Neato. All right, let's open one of these up. So there's a little envelope inside, and it says, Ex Libris book plates originally come from times when books were very rare and sometimes were passed around between book lovers. The book owner placed a label inside the book so the book would be returned, and the art of these book plates survived until modern days and is still treasured by today's book lovers. Isn't that neat? It even has like a little history lesson on the envelope. And inside, it says the Ex Libris book plate was designed by wildlife artist Daniela Hartel-Hyson. I'm probably saying that wrong. These ones are printed on self-adhesive paper. Just peel off the foil in the back and stick them in your book. And it's an adorable cat sleeping on a bookshelf. And these are some of the peel and stick ones. Now these are printed on gummed paper, so it can be moistened and stuck on like a stamp. Okay, so now this one on the antique type paper is not a sticky one. You would just have to use glue, yourself to stick it on. I think this one might be my favorite though, because it has a tree. It has like a candle. I really love that. This one is a cat again, but I can't figure out what that cat is doing. What is it doing? It's like pointing a wand. It's a magical cat. Oh my goodness, guys. This is McGonagall. It's McGonagall. She's doing some magic at that book. Oh my goodness. I have a McGonagall book plate. This is the best. This is the best. Another beautiful one has a butterfly and a bird on it. Lovely, lovely. Ooh, no, I take it back. This is totally my favorite. Oh, this has such a Lord of the Rings vibe. Look at that. That is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I can't even stand how beautiful this is. So I will leave a link down in the description to the Ex Libris Etsy shop. There is a discount code that is available just for my followers and subscribers, and I will put that down below as well so you can get a discount. So I don't know about you, but every year, right around New Year's, I start thinking, what am I gonna do for my reading goals for the coming year? So I'm gonna give you some tips, just a little bit of advice. If you're having a little bit of trouble setting your reading goals, or you set some reading goals for last year and did not accomplish them at all, maybe you bit off a little more than you could chew. No matter what your situation, this will give you some ideas, hopefully. What I really wanna do is give you guys maybe just some tools so that you can set yourself up for success. So the number one tip that you really have to keep in mind is be realistic. Be realistic with your goals. If you think that you can read 200 books next year, yes, do it. You have the time in your schedule. You have the books all lined up. You love to read 8 hours a day, then do it. If you think that you can read 30 books next year or 10 books, then that needs to be your goal. Don't look at other people, what they're doing with their goals. You need to be realistic about what you think is doable, what you can accomplish this coming year with your reading. Number 2 is to set a goal for joy. Set a goal that is going to make you joyful about reading, not a goal that is going to be like, oh, all this pressure and guilt and oh no, and I failed. Nobody wants that. Don't do it. Set a goal that will bring you joy and make you feel good about yourself and make you feel like, haha, I did great. So my number 3 tip is to consider, where are you going to put your time and effort this coming year? What kind of energy do you have? What kind of time limits do you have that you can put towards reading? You need to coordinate it with some of your other life goals. One of my goals this coming year is to spend more time with my niece, which means less time for reading. So I have to coordinate my reading goals with my life goals. I have to stop and think, where do I really want to put my time and my energy and my effort? I have some effort to put into reading. I have some effort to put into family. I have some effort to put in with my work. I have some effort to put in with YouTube and editing and filming videos. So I need to coordinate those things and say, this is how much time I have left for reading. My number 4 tip is to reward yourself. There is nothing like a reward to get you super motivated to read. Whatever that reward might look like, keep up with it. You might say to yourself, after I've read 100 pages, then I will, give myself $5 for that latte that I want, or, for whatever it is. Or you might say, after every 50 pages that I read, or after every book that I finish, or whatever it is, then I get a little star on my chart. Never underestimate the power of a sticker on a chart. Seriously, I still give myself stickers on charts, and I love it. You are never too old to find joy in a sticker. Find some way to reward yourself and stick with it and really reward yourself, and you will be so excited about reading, not only because you will enjoy what you're reading, but because then you get this little extra boost at the end. My number 5 tip is to join a group. Join an online reading group, join a book club, join a group for people who hate reading. I don't know, don't do that. Join some kind of group and you guys will cheer each other on, and you'll also have sort of that accountability, like, oh no, I have to really read it because I can't go to the group and then I'll be the only one that hasn't read it. Kind of the same idea as joining a group is to try buddy reading with someone. So you might have a particular book that you both want to read and you buddy read it together. Maybe you both post reviews of the book, or maybe you just buddy read it just for fun and then get to talk about it afterwards. Now I will say with buddy reading, just like with book clubs, there are pros and cons. One of the biggest pros is that it will get you really motivated to read, and it'll keep you accountable to read that book. Another pro is that it's really fun to share your thoughts about the book with that buddy after you've finished. But one of the cons is that if your buddy drops out and they don't finish the book, or they just don't even want to do it anymore, then it's kind of discouraging because it's like, oh, now I'm just here by myself. And another con is that if you both read it, but then your opinions about the book really are very different, if you guys differ about what you liked or hated about the book, then there can be maybe a little bit of conflict there. If you guys are good buddies and you have a strong friendship, then I'm sure you can weather that storm. But, who needs conflict in their life if you can avoid it, I guess. Another great way to motivate yourself is to do a read-a-thon. Of course, there are tons of different read-a-thons on Goodreads, on YouTube here, bukus of read-a-thons going on all year long. One thing that I want to try this year is I want to plan way ahead for readathons. Like I know booktubeathon is coming up in August. They do it every year in August. So I actually want to like select, these are the books I'm going to read for booktubeathon and be ready to go with those months ahead of time. I don't know if I'll really do that, but you could try it that way. One of the ones that I definitely would save a book for that readathon would be the Tome Topple. The Tome Topple readathon is about reading big, huge books and trying to get through them, you know? So if you had a really big book that was on your TBR and it's like over 1,000 pages or something, then you could save it up for the Tome Topple and you can have all of this great reading energy and be really motivated to read for that readathon. Of course, no one can do their reading goals without tons of lists and charts and TBR shelves, and I love lists. I mean, you guys know I love writing out lists. Maybe that's not your jam. You just want to pick up whatever book happens to be there in the moment. That is fine too. But I love making charts and lists and, you know, having like things written down. I love doing spreads in my bullet journal of all the different books that I want to read. So when you're thinking about what are my reading goals going to be for this year, write yourself out a list. A couple of years ago, I was thinking about my reading goals and I was like, okay, I want to read one classic every month and one series every month. And, well, one book from a series in every month. And I want to read one nonfiction and one book in Spanish and but by the time I was had like a list of 10 different types of books from different genres. It was just, it was too much. And once I had it down in a list, I was like, wow, this is not doable. This is a little much. And my last tip for setting your reading goals is to try out the Goodreads Challenge. I do the Goodreads Challenge every year and it really helps me to stay on track, especially because it'll tell me like you're 2 books behind and I'll be like, oh no, I need to read a lot this weekend. But there are tons of different websites that have similar things that will track your reading. There are reading tracker apps. There's one that Samantha uses over at Sam's Nonsense, and I can't remember the name of it right now, but it'll tell you how many pages you read per hour, like how quickly you read that book. And it's kind of nifty. It has all like this tracking information for every book that you read. And it gives you like your stats and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And that is all I have to say about setting your reading goals. Some of it's pretty basic, you know, like obvious stuff. And some of it maybe are things that you haven't thought about before. I hope you found this useful. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what are some of your reading goals for 2019. And I realize that I haven't told you any of my reading goals in this video because pretty soon I will be coming out with another video telling you about my specific reading goals for 2019. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and remember, the right book in the right hands at the right time can change the world.